So hey, what's up folks, back in the fourth video in our series of Git and the GitHub. Till now we have covered introduction about Git. We covered in second video, we covered the basic commands which we needed in the Git to take the snapshot. We took the snapshot in the second video. We also checked how we can switch back to those snapshot in the third video. We also checked the differences between different snapshot. We have covered till now this much part of the Git. Now we are doing all these things. We are recording our project. We are versioning that project, right, by taking the snapshot. Cool. We are logging it with the help of the Git. Now I need to upload this stuff to the GitHub because that's where you're able to share with your friends, right? How I'm gonna do that? Because that's where I'm going to tell the people, oh, this is my project. You can now collaborate with us, collaborate with me. So how are you gonna do that? In this video, I'm going to discuss that. Let's get started. Let me share my screen. I hope. Let me share. So here is my screen. I think it's visible now to you. Cool. Let's go to the development folder. Cool. And inside the amazing project we are having that stuff, right? So let me do what? Let me open VS Code over here, right? Cool. So as you know, that's all these files we are already having, right? We already created that thing in the second and third video. Cool. Let me clear it first of all my screen just to feel you like a fresh, and let's do git log and all this snapshot which we have already taken in the second and third video, right? You already know about that thing, right? All this three snapshot. Cool. So all this snapshot is being stored where you know already about that is stored over here .git folder, and .git folder created when we ran what git init command. We already talked also that stuff, right? So now we need to now why are you telling all this stuff, Manish? Now to upload our thing to upload our code, right, we need to understand the concept of branches, and even to understand the concept of branches we need to understand how all these snapshots are being stored inside that .git folder. We need to talk about that. We need to discuss that because that's where you start connecting the dots, right? So for that I'm gonna need my screen, tablet screen okay, let me share that. Cool. So come on. Okay guys, okay, so here we are. It's sharing. Cool, because I need to recheck whether it's sharing or not. Cool. Okay, so when we ran git init command, you know that git created a .git folder, right? Or whenever we are committing anything, right, whenever we are taking any snapshot, or whenever we are committing anything, right, so that is being stored inside where .git. Until now we have committed how much snapshot? We have committed 3 snapshot, right? As you know, by the name of what? First picture, second picture, third picture. We have gave the messages, right? You already know about that. We checked using the git log command, right? Cool. Now we have to understand a little bit how these things are being stored inside this particular .git folder. Cool. To understand this storage thing, let's understand a simple thing. I think you also know this thing, right? In our electronic devices, let's talk about mobile phone, tablet, or whatnot, right? We have the softwares, we have the documents, we have the images, right? All these things are being stored where? In the storage device, right? It can be your phone storage, it can be your memory card in your mobile phone, and in the PC we are having that thing stored where? SSD nowadays, right? And we can also store it inside the hard disk. Cool. We have got to understand. Okay, so whenever we internally what happens, let me tell you. Cool. Let's first understand this thing. It's a cool thing. So let's suppose this is a storage, right? And storage is controlled by what? Yeah, the storage driver, right? This is what it controls, right? So whenever we want to, let's suppose I have a photo. Whenever I want to store this photo inside this storage, right, I'm telling you how exactly internally works, whatever the system, whatever we you can say, whenever you want, how the things goes in the technical level, I want to explain that stuff. So whenever we have to upload this photo inside this, what's exactly happened, that we request to the storage driver, computer request to the what? Computer request to the storage driver. Storage driver, I need this much amount of memory. First of all, we tell how much memory we need from this particular storage drive. Let's suppose this storage drive is our SSD or hard disk, right? For an example, we need just 2 kilobyte of storage. So it's here is a small chunk of memory, right? Cool. So it is going to okay, we requested from storage driver. Okay, storage driver responded with the address. So okay, storage driver said, okay, cool, I'm gonna give you some chunk of a memory. Cool, you need 2 kilobyte, I'm gonna provide you, right? So when we request, it will gonna return us what? Address for that particular chunk of a memory. So it's going to give us a particular address. Let's suppose a random address, right? I'm using this simple address, right, just for simplicity. So when we are having this particular address, now we can store all our photo inside this address. So already, so once we store our photo inside this address, it is being stored over there. Cool. Now we got to know how actually the things works in the storage type system, right? Cool. Okay, how exactly Git uses this storage to store the state or snapshot? We're going to discuss that stuff now. Cool. Okay, let's discuss. Okay, let me first of all remove a little bit from here. Okay, cool. So Git uses a data structure. Which data structure? It's linked list. Cool. If you don't know about linked list, I'm gonna tell you. As name itself suggests, right? Linked list. As name itself suggests, it's a linked list, guys. It's a linked list. So linked list is what? First of all, understand list. List is kind of a blocks. It's a block, right? This is a list, right? Number of blocks. It's a list, and it is linked together. It's a link together by some means. So we are calling it as a what? We are calling it as a linked list. Now understand. Okay, cool. Now understand how Git uses that thing for us, right? How Git uses that thing to store the stuff. Cool. As you know, okay, let me first of all make this a storage again. So we are having this storage driver over here. Cool. And this is the what? SSD or hard disk. It can be anything, right? Cool. Now what happens when you commit anything? When you run this command, git commit command, Git is gonna do what? Internally, Git is going to ask from what? From storage driver, I need a certain chunk of memory depending upon the project size. I need a small chunk of a memory from where storage. Okay, the storage driver say, okay, I'm going to provide you address. So it is going to provide an address where you can store the stuff. So this chunk of memory is what? Is a block. So it is a block. Cool. So it is over here. Okay, let me change my color a little bit, guys. Okay, it's a block. So it is storage driver provided to the Git. Okay, Git is having this particular stuff. And what is the address for this chunk of memory? It's address of 1 2 3 4. Git storage driver provided. Okay, cool. So now what happens when we run this command git commit? It asks from this. Now Git is gonna store the snapshot, or you can say picture, which we captured inside this particular block. Now it is going to store inside this particular block. Cool. So our first snapshot, which is what? Which is our first picture, right? We capture the first picture with you know, the message, right? You know, the git commit minus m. When we that you can see that stuff in the second video we have done, right? So okay, you know, so what happens that Git is stored inside this particular block. Cool. Understood very well. Cool. Now what is going to happen next? What is again we ran a command git commit, right? First of all, let's do one thing. Again we ran a command, guys, right? We ran a command. Okay, git commit. Second time because we have the 3 snapshot, as you know. So we ran git commit minus m second picture, right? When we take the second you can say picture of our project. Cool. So again what is going to happen? Git is going to ask a small chunk of memory again from the storage driver, and storage driver gonna give us a unique address, right? Different address, so that we can store our stuff over here. That address can be your anything, like for example, for simplicity I'm going to take a random address any. Okay, it can be your 111 for example, right? So it provided to the Git, it provided to the Git. Okay, so Git is having that particular what? Block of memory, right? What is going to happen now? Git is going to store our second picture inside this particular block. So it is going to have second picture. Okay, it is having the second picture now. Cool. Also with that, there is a certain section we are going to have because we need to connect that thing, right? As you know, the Git level is a linked list, so it is going to create a certain section which we call as pointer. What is pointer? Pointer is something which points to the something. Means by that, this pointer is going to point to the address of the first block. Let's understand that. So this particular stuff is going to store what? This section of the block which we ask from the storage driver. It's also going to, with our second picture, it's also going to store what? It's going to store the address of our first picture, right? 1 2 3 4. So what is happening when we are storing the this particular address? We are creating a link to the what? We are creating to the link to the what? Into the first picture. So here you see this is connecting. These two blocks are now connected, and now you see how exactly linked lists are being used over here. You got an idea? Cool. Manish, now you're gonna ask, what happens to the first block? It is also going to have the null pointer, right? It is also going to have a pointer, right? Exactly, it's also going to have a pointer, but it is pointing to the null nothing right now, because this is the first commit which we have taken after the git init command, which we when we initiated the git, right? This is the very first commit, or you can say snapshot, which we have taken. So right now it is pointing to null, and this second, when we taken the second snapshot, a second picture, it is going to point to the what? To the first. And now, as you know that we have the 3 snapshots. So what again going to happen when we ran? Again, we ran the one more command, right? When we in the second video, right? Okay, cool. Git commit -m third picture, right, guys? You know about that stuff, right? So again, what is going to happen? Git is going to ask from the storage driver, please give me a small chunk of memory, and Git is going to provide address for that stuff to store, right? So 1 2 1 2. Let's for an example. So okay, now I am having what? I am having okay, first of all, okay guys, first of all, this is the address of the second this is the address of the second block when we asked, right? Because we forgot to write here. We have already wrote that stuff. Cool. So now we jump back to the word here, as we are here, right? So we are having this particular block which we asked, and the address which storage device gives to the to the git is 1212. Cool. Here in this address we are going to store what? The state the snapshot of the third picture which we take, the third picture, right? It is going to store over here, and there is a certain section which we have is going to point what? Is going to point this, and to point that stuff we're going to store that thing inside the pointer, which is 111. Pointer is nothing, as I said. Pointer is something which is pointing to something. Over pointer is pointing to the what? Addresses. So here you see that how linked list is being created. You got an idea how it is being created? Oh, that's the stuff. Now you got it, an idea. Cool. Now let's jump back to our code. So as you see that these things are like a first picture, we have second picture, third picture, as a series of things, and you can you can see one more unique thing over here, that is every commit is unique, right? You see every commit is unique over here. So you can treat this commit like an addresses, right, for that particular block. So you can treat, just for analogy, just to understand much better, right? Cool, we got an idea now. Now we understood how Git is utilizing that linked list to store our snapshot, and how that snapshot are being stored inside that what? .git folder. We understood that thing. Okay, cool. Now we got it. Now we can jump back to the second section of our video, that is what? Branches. What actually the branches are. Now let's discuss that stuff. Cool, guys. For that, again, I'm going to jump to my screen. Okay. So whenever we ran whenever we ran git init command, first time when we initiate the git, we ran git init command. So it created by default a master branch for ourselves. By default it created, right? You need a branch, right? By default it created what? Master branch. And I'm gonna show you where exactly it is, right? So we are having the master branch by default, and all that stuff, all these blocks is over where? Is inside this master branch. What is branch, money? What is branch? You're going to ask from me. Branch is nothing, just like trees have branch. In the similar way, Git also having the branch. Okay, cool. Now understand that what is actually the how we can relate a branch over here. Let's understand. Okay, let me tell you, give an analogy, right? Okay, we already got to know about this thing. Now your friend want to build some feature with you. If your friend also want to contribute to your code, right? He also want to build something, right? But what is happening right now that you are building your own thing, your friend is going to, you are continue building own thing, and your friend is also building something, right? So it's going to conflict with your code and your friend code, right? It's going to conflict a lot of stuff, right? And you're gonna say why you are pushing, because it's too frustrating, right? Because you are building something and something got broke because of your friend code, because your friend wrote something which you don't which you are not aware of what exactly, because we don't want to check every time git git check out and see the differences between two snapshots. We don't want that right now. So what is going to happen, your friend is going to take the till now what is happening, right now your friend is nowhere, right? In the sorry, okay, cool. Till now your friend is not over here, right? till this section, right? Okay, now your friend wants to contribute with you, so he is going to do what? He is going to create his own blog. Let me go over here. Cool. Okay, so what is going to happen, you are doing your own stuff, just as I said, right? You are building your stuff, right? But he jumped back at what state? He jumped back at this state, right? When we have taken the third picture. Cool. Now he wants to build something. So what is your friend is going to do? He is going to create his own branch. What exactly it mean by he is going to create his own branch? He is going to create like this way. He is going to make his own blocks now, right? Let us assume like this way. So just for simplicity, there is no more space, so I am going over here, right? So he is going to create like this way. He is building, let's suppose he is building you can say header front page for your website, or you can assume anything, right? He's building her own stuff, right? And your code is safe over here, right? Because you are still you are building in your code. So see, now you guys both are not conflicting, and your friend is using your same code, right? You are guys using two different branches. Now you see, this is the branch, this is the how branches, this is what we call as branches. How? Let me tell you. And this branch, as you're going to ask me, I didn't create a branch for myself, right? Yes, exactly, you didn't create a branch for yourself, but when you ran this command, git init command, git created for you by default a branch with the name of the master branch. Okay, and this is the master branch which you are working on right now. This is the master branch, and what your friend is when your friend is going to create a branch for its for himself or herself, he is going to use a command, what? Git checkout -p and the name of that particular branch which he wants to be. So let's suppose he wants to create a branch by the name of feature, so he's going to create his own branch. So now we are in our code, we are having two branches. One is master branch and another is feature branch. You got what exactly the branch is? Okay, you understood, right? Cool. Okay, so just like in tree, we are having, let's suppose in this this is the stem, right? When tree grows, its stems comes up, and after this tree created its own branch, right? So here we are having in the tree we are having the branches, right? So treat this stem as your by default branch. This is the by default in which you are working, in which you are building, right? This is the master. This is what we are calling as master branch. Now you got an idea what is actually the master is. Now you hopefully got an idea what's the concept behind the branches, right? So that you guys don't conflict, you can do your own stuff. I am going to do my own stuff from the this section. Whenever your friend wants to contribute, he can pick up your block and he can create a branch from whichever block he wants to be, right? So he created his own block of he created his own branch, and he started adding his or her own snapshot over here, right? Cool. We got it. Now we want to see that stuff, all the stuff which we said in. Now we got it, right? What is branches and what not, right? Now let's jump back to the code section. Okay, guys. Okay, let's go back. How now? Let me do git status. What is actually happening? Okay, right now we are at where? We are at 588 over here. This commit. We are right now on this commit. As you know, in the third video, which switch to this commit, right? Right now we are not in the what you can say branch, right? We need to jump back to the branch. Okay, let me there's one more command which you have to write it down over here. So run git branch. If you do, you see that right now we are not at the branch, we are in the view mode, we are not in the writing mode right now, we are just checking out the different snapshot which we have taken till now. So we are at where we are right now, in this particular snapshot, right? As we know that in the third video we already discussed that. Let's jump back to the our what, to the master branch, right, which is the by default branch. As you see, when we ran this command, it's by default we are having the master branch over here. You see that? Okay, cool, you got an idea. Okay, let's jump back to that. Okay, git checkout, you're gonna write git checkout and master. Okay, now we are inside the master branch. How I'm gonna know that I'm inside the master branch? Let's do git branch. Now you do. Now you see that we are only having master branch, and over here when we ran this command, it is showing this thing. So it is showing that you are on the view mode. It's not a branch, it's a view mode. At where you are viewing right now, you are viewing over 585 and this commit, right? So now we are back to the what, we are back to the master branch, right? It's master master, right, where we actually are working upon. Cool. And there is only one branch right now. Okay, cool, we got this stuff. Right now your friend wants to do his or her own stuff, right? So he's going to create his own branch, right? How your friend is going to do that, let's discuss. So your friend is going to write this command git checkout, okay, -b, and he is going to make a, like, for example, any, you can put any random. We use the example of the feature, so we are going to use a feature. Okay, cool. Now you see, now your friend is inside where, his own branch which he created, right? So let's check it that we are inside where we are right now. We are having inside our project, we are having now two branches. One is master branch and another one is the feature. And right now we are where, right now we are inside the, you see star over here, so we are right now in the feature branch. Okay, cool. Now your friend changes bunch of code, like, you know, this. Okay, your friend does a lots of stuff over here, and your friend also creates a file like hello, like what we said, header .txt, just for the sake of simplicity we are using this. And your friend has created a bunch of things. Okay, cool. So things are being changed. If you do git status, now you see there are lots of this file is modified and this file we have created. So we have to put all of them inside where, a staging area, so that we can capture their photo, right? So if I do git status now, okay, cool. Now we are we have put them inside where, staging area, we can capture this snapshot. Okay, git commit -m and friend code, just for just friend code. Okay, if I now hit enter, now your friend created what, a snapshot. Okay, we can check as well. Now if I do git log over here, you see now we have firstly we have the first picture, then we have the second picture, then we have the third picture, and then your friend added his own block, right, where he is storing his own code, right? So cool. So you have right now we are at where, we are at feature branch. So your friend is utilizing his own stuff now. Cool. And now you're gonna say that I'm not going to work with my friend code right now, because he is doing own stuff, right? He's currently building off. I want my code, right? Because he is doing because his code can break my code, right? So now what are you gonna do that? We have the two branches, guys, right? If I right, as we know that. So, oh gosh, I put up the wrong git branch, right? So now you're gonna switch back to your own branch which you are working on, right? So we are working on the master branch. So we click and you are back to the master branch. Now you see that header.txt file is no more over here, and all the code which your friend modified is no more over here. If I do git log again, you see, you're gonna see git log, you're gonna see that, okay, we are having that state where we left, right? So you first picture, second picture, third picture, your friend block is no more over here. Your friend created his own branches, that thing is inside his or her branch, right? Cool. Your thing is clean. His code is no more over here, right? You see there is no more code over here. Okay, cool. So this is how your friend is going to collaborate, but we're going to discuss in the next video how your friend is going to merge his code inside your own branch. We're going to discover in the second video. Right now our focus is to understand the branch, and once we understand the branch, now you understand what exactly the branch is. Now we're going to push our code inside the GitHub. So let's get started with that stuff, right? So for that we're going to have our a browser. Let's open a browser. Okay, jump to the GitHub section. Okay, cool. So we are over here. come to your repository. Right here we are going to store all our stuff. So if you guys haven't created your own account, so guys, please go to the GitHub and create your own account. So you are going to have this interface. Just click on the repository section. Here I am having my bunch of projects, so that's why it's showing me. If you haven't created, maybe it's empty for you, right? Cool. It's going to be empty for you, obviously. Okay, if your account is new. Okay, cool. So create over here new button to create to store your project, right? So we are having the name of our project by the name of what's the name of that our project? We are having the amazing project, right? Name our project, as you know, guys. So it's going to be public. You can private it for you so that nobody can see your code, but I'm going to put it as public right now. Cool. Okay, let's create this. Okay, amazing stuff. Now copy this. So guys, we are going to copy this particular command, right? Copy this stuff. I'm gonna tell you what exactly it does. Just right now copy this stuff and paste it over here. Cool. And hit enter. Okay, now what exactly this command is doing? It is linking. It is kind of it is linking where you are going to push your code. So inside this origin, right, we are creating a kind of a link between what we are creating link between Git. We are telling Git, you have this URL, and here you are storing this URL in the origin, right? This is the kind of assume this is a variable where we are storing this URL. So we are telling Git, please store this URL inside this origin variable, so that whenever I need to push my stuff, use this URL to push my code where to the GitHub, right? To put over here. So let's do that stuff. Cool. So you need to add that, right? Once to link, right? To you need to create only one time, right? So that link is done, right? So you don't need to require again. You don't need to paste this URL again. You already have stored where you already stored over in the origin, right? So now on we are going to use origin. Now no more URL. Whenever we are going to push our stuff, we are going to use origin because that is being stored over here. Cool. Now let's push. Now you're gonna write git push. Now you're going to use origin, and which branch you want to push, you have to name it. So you're going to use master branch, and if you hit enter, guys, let's take it. If you guess enter, what is going to happen? See, cool, it pushed your code into the GitHub, guys. It pushed it, and check it over here. Let's refresh your page. Guys, we are having our code inside where? We are having our code inside GitHub, and it's uploaded over here. You see all these files, you can see all our code inside over here. Amazing stuff, guys. And you can also see all the commits, all the snapshot which you are having, first picture, second picture. You see, this is what you have. You can see all that inside over. You can browse the files, right? You can check it how exactly your code would look like at that point of time. So let's jump back to the master, right? So because at that point we are at the viewing point. Whenever we switch back to our previous commits, it's you can say, and when you do browse files, so we are at right now viewing mode. So that's why it's not showing any branch over here. It's right now it's a viewing mode, right? We are checking out. So let's switch back to the master branch, right? Okay, cool. So congratulations, guys, you finally uploaded your code inside the GitHub. You made it till this point. In the next video, we are going to talk about how your friend is going to merge his own stuff, own code inside your branch without conflicting without conflicting the code. How your friend is actually you can say with the help of the Git is perfectly going to attach or going to merge his code inside your branch, right? Without with knowing you, right, what your friend have done, what exactly which your files he changes, whether his code is breaking your code or not. We're going to know all that stuff in the next video. For this video, we are done. So I hope you like this video. I hope you love this video. Until then, peace. Bye bye.